For Static, I'm George Lang. I'm here with Kyle Dillingham, and I was wondering, could you just, like take a look at this instrument here that we've got in front of us. Show me how you discover what most people would see as something that is broken beyond repair, like you say. How can you pull some new life out of it?
Well, George, basically what I do is I take the instrument. I'm a violinist, so I have preconceived ideas of how they work, but I try to let those go. Because this doesn't have a fingerboard, it doesn't have a bridge, it's in pretty bad shape. The strings are pretty terrible, the sound post is down. But what I realized is there's a really kind of airiness to the sound. And I thought, well, even with a bow, that could create a really unique sound, very uncharacteristic for violin.
Sure.
And since there's no bridge, the strings are almost flat, although they're just a little bit rounded, giving me a chance to play multiple strings or to kind of isolate them. But really, it's just a way of just exploring and saying, what does this violin sound like at the heart of this instrument?
So you might, you discover, well, there's a certain amount of dissonance to what this violin, what kind of sounds you get out of it, but that can be a beautiful dissonance, right?
Right. Yeah, like it's kind of a scratchy, and it vibrates. The fine tuners are right up against the belly of the instrument, and you can hear it sort of vibrate just a little bit. But hey, I mean, that's a tonal quality that I've never really heard. Maybe a hurdy-gurdy comes
right.
close.
Sure. Yeah. Exactly. Now, I mean, this whole project was inspired by a mission trip that you took to Togo. Tell me a little bit about that and how that's what you discovered while you were there became this Broken Beyond Repair project.
Right. Well, there was one kid in particular that when I played for the kids at the orphanage, he began conducting me. He was conducting me, and he was it was just like he was, conducting the New York Philharmonic, Beethoven, symphony or something. And he was so serious, and he was literally leading me in the performance. And so the impression that these kids made on me was really strong, and I could see them if I closed my eyes. And I came upon this big box of broken fiddles. The first thing I saw were the faces of these children. Les enfants délaissés, the abandoned children. And I thought, here's a box of abandoned violins. So far too easy to think that there's no hope. There's no hope for this, or it costs too much, or we just don't want to think about it, or confront the issues, and just to sort of put them in a box and put them in storage, or push them out of our sight.
Well, the term broken beyond repair, it comes from the fact that it would cost too much to fix this, or cost more to fix it than it is physically worth. But what you've done is you've found the inherent value of these instruments. No matter how they've been broken, there's something there, right?
Right, yeah. And that's an important lesson that I learned from these violins, was that we see the orphan, or we see the homeless person, or we see the alcoholic, or we see the whatever it is. Our first instinct is that we want to fix it, especially as men. We want to fix this, but it's kind of like, hold on just a minute. There's none of us that are perfect. We're all broken. And God sees us for who we are, and sees the beauty in us. He sees us created in His image. I began to realize that just take a look at these instruments. Don't take them to the repair shop. Just pick them up just as they are and say, what's your voice? What's your sound? What's your beauty? And value just as you are now. We can worry about the repairs later, and improving But let's just start with who you are right now and where you are.
Right.
It's sometimes, you know, it's too overwhelming to think, let's fix the problem. But if we can just embrace the person and love the person and see the beauty in the person, that's, I think, the message that the violins, I begin to learn from these violins.
Excellent.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, George.
All right.